Up next, we are live and local with Anessa. We spoke with Anessa a couple of weeks ago. She was playing some inspired original music that's been described as a mesmerising infusion of alternate folk and Eastern European influences. And this went with a dinner that featured Slavic dishes. That night sold out. She has more gigs coming up and a new album. So while we get Anessa and her musician friend, who we're going to meet as well in just a moment, set up in the studio, I'll play the title track from her new album. This is Golden Wreath, and trust me, if you feel that you've had a desire for a Eurovision moment, turn this up, because this track is it. It's gorgeous. This is Anessa on ABC Sunshine Coast.
Sunday morning tea. Where my destiny is waiting for me. Where my destiny is waiting for me.
Anessa's Golden Wreath on ABC Sunshine Coast, and Anessa herself live in the studio. Welcome.
Good morning, and thank you for having us.
And now, if memory serves me correctly, Golden Wreath is the title track of your most recent album?
Yes.
Beautiful. And would you like to introduce your special guest?
Yes, today I am joined by Benjamin Drozdowski. He was my friend and musician who plays multiple instruments and quite exotic ones. Today he brought with him balalaika and violin, but he also has accordion and piano.
Okay, wow. I'm glad you didn't try and drag the piano in. That would have presented a whole new challenge. I don't think I've ever had a balalaika player in the studio. How long have you been playing this instrument?
On and off since I was 15 years old.
So you picked it up fairly young. What was your first instrument?
Violin.
Violin, excellent. So the fact that you're holding the balalaika makes me think you're going to do a Russian folk song first.
Yes, we are.
Excellent. Shall we jump into that, and then we'll talk a little bit more about your different projects, what's coming up, and then maybe an original song, if I can twist your arm?
Sounds good.
Wonderful. Tell us about this folk song.
So we are going to play a very old traditional folk song called Bell, and it's about the moment of nostalgia. Is it correct?
Yes,
Nostalgia. So it's about being nostalgic and feeling this warmth of memories of the past. Однозвучно гремит колокольчик, и дорога пылится слегка, и уныло по ровному полю заливается песнь ямщика. Столько чувства в той песне уныло, и столько грусти в напеве родном, что в груди моей хладной остылой разгорелось сердце огнем, что в груди моей хладной остылой разгорелось сердце огнем. И припомнил я ночи другие, и родные поля и леса, и на очи давно уж сухие набежала, как искра, слеза.
оставаясь слегка, и замолк мой ямщика дорога, предо мной далека, далека, и замолк мой ямщик, а дорога предо мной далека,
It's beautiful, beautiful. I'm not the only one who thinks so. I've got a text here from possibly one of my most educated listeners when it comes to music, David in Yamundi. He says, "Good morning, Sheridan. I hear echoes and shades of Maggie Riley from her time with Mike Oldfield." And I don't know if you're familiar with Maggie Riley. There was a song that came out, gosh, it might have been early 80s, called Moonshadow. Just beautiful, beautiful.
I should check.
Yes, you know, that very pure voice, which you also own. That was just gorgeous, just gorgeous. What was the history behind that song,
Well,
apart from being old?
well, I know that it's about 100 years old, and probably Benjamin's grandparents would be listening to it some time ago. Yeah.
So it's the sort of music you grew up with, Ben?
Yeah, somewhat.
In the background,
In the background, yes.
when Nan and Pop insisted upon it. So tell us a little bit about the different projects you have here on the Sunshine Coast, Vanessa.
So I have a few projects at the moment, and one is traditional Slavic songs, and I perform at multicultural festivals as well as organizing my own concerts. And the last one was quite exotic. It was dining with Vanessa, Slavic inspired music,
and it was booked out
food.
before I could get
It
there.
was absolutely beautiful. We talked with you about it just day before it happened, and I didn't know what to expect, and it was absolutely beautiful experience. I got to play for people and then try different Slavic foods with them at a long table like my grandmother used to do, and then we would go back and share more songs, and again it was such a beautiful, we talked to all the guests, and it was unforgettable experience. And there's another project which is my originals, and that is now a fusion of traditional folk songs with more alternative pop rock styles. So it's quite a fusion, and I released an album of these songs finally in May this year. And so I do that for different festivals and concerts. And we do jazz with Benjamin, and in fact we have a concert coming, an event in Bodarim Tavern. They invited us to celebrate their birthday
Oh, how lovely.
on Thursday. Is it next Thursday or yes? Yeah, next Thursday we are playing jazz. So I probably will be dressed all in retro style
Oh,
clothes.
nice.
And we'll
Chance
be,
to frock up.
yeah, I absolutely love old songs, as you noticed, not only in my native language, but also jazz. And I just love old songs. They have they're very soulful, don't you think so?
Oh, absolutely. And Ben, where did your passion for music come from? Was it something in the family, or did it come from outside?
From the family, probably. My grandma taught herself piano, guitar, and balalaika, all by ear. So she had no formal training, but obviously she could make music, and I guess that transferred through to me. My genes.
Lovely. Yeah. Wonderful. And I noticed, Inessa, that you've done something really interesting on your website. You offer 5 days of free songs and inspiration, and it's that working out how to best get our creativity in the world when everything is expected for free online these days. So you're actually just going with that, and then hopefully that will lead to people going, 5 songs isn't enough. I want the entire album. I want to, see her play live with Ben.
Yes, I would like to let people to have a taste of different songs And I actually share songs from different stages of my life. So it's one from my first album, one from traditional album, one from my new album, and so on. And I also share stories behind these songs and how I came up with them. And yeah, I call it a little musical journey, a 5-day journey, and I'm very welcome people to join me on my musical journey.
Wonderful. Well, while we get ready for the next song, do you need to tune up, or is that all ready to roll? I'll just bring you another text saying, absolutely loving this, Sheridan. Australia has such a cultural diversity from Indigenous to immigrant, and we generally only hear English language music. It's time for a lot more Lot music, which I think is languages other than English from memory. Maybe this could be a regular event. Maybe on Saturday mornings. Maybe, please. Question mark. So there we go. There we go. You're inspiring people to inspire me to bring in other musicians that don't necessarily only or exclusively sing in English.
And I think that is something special about Australia, that there are so many cultures mixed together, and you can experience different culture without actually living in Australia. There are always festivals, and you can meet people, just stumble into people with different cultures and backgrounds.
Yeah, this is true. You were playing as part of Multicultural Month, I saw as well in the last couple of weeks.
I did. I had a concert in the Sunshine Coast Library, Maroochydore, and it was beautiful. Like the people gathered, no one have heard me before, and I actually asked them, would you like me to sing a few songs in English, because I have English versions as well? And they said, no, continue in your own language. Beautiful. So they were very interested, and that's really pleasing that people are so open to experience different cultures and languages.
It's 10 to 10 on ABC Sunshine Coast. What a wonderful way to close out the program with live music. And Nessa, what's the next track you're going to play for us live in the studio here?
I would like to sing a song from my new album. And now that we talked about the languages, I thought maybe I will perform it in Russian then. Okay. I was going to play it in English, and my album actually completely in English, but I have Russian versions as well.
Well, you could surprise us and sneak a verse of English in somewhere.
Okay, yes,
or maybe
that's a good
chorus,
idea,
so that we understand the words. But
in Russian then.
Okay.
I was going to play it in English, and my album actually completely in English, but I have Russian versions as well.
Well, you could surprise us and sneak a verse of English in somewhere.
Okay, yes,
or maybe
that's a good
chorus,
idea,
so that we understand the words. But I would agree with all those good people at the Maroochydore Library that often we don't need to understand the words to feel connected to the music.
I agree. Thoughts once joining are reposing now. Tears once burning finally run out. Endless rains are numbing me somehow. My naive girls are now straightened out.
sorrow, no laughter, no tears. Just tumbleweed across the desert and splinters for years. No joyfulness, no sorrow, no laughter, no tears. Just tumbleweed across the desert and splinters for years.
I didn't want that to end, I have to confess. That was absolutely beautiful. The title of that track, Inessa?
Tumbleweed.
Tumbleweed. Gorgeous. And this is on Golden Reef, the latest album?
It's the latest album.
Wonderful. Well, I would suggest anyone who's enjoying this segment, please have a look at Inessa's website. It's inessamusic.com. Sorry, 2 N's and 2 S's.
Yeah, INNESSA.
inessamusic.com. And Ben, thank you so much for coming in this morning as well. It was just beautiful to learn a little bit about your story and hear you play. So anything else we need to know? I guess you've got a Facebook presence as well?
Yes, I'm very active on Facebook, and all our events is on Facebook. You can find it in the events section, and we have quite a few gigs coming. We are part of Festuri Festival, and then there's a Slavic festival coming very soon, and I keep getting other opportunities, so I update it all the time. So Facebook and my website are the best places to go.
Well, thank you both so much for joining us this
Thank you
morning
for
on
having
ABC
us.
Sunshine Coast at the beginning of our new multicultural segment. So I've been challenged now to find musicians that sing in languages other than English.
Your region, your station. ABC Sunshine Coast.
Hi, my name is Brett